Hello guys, this is the Monk. This is the one time only I'll do this video. I won't be doing another one of these. This is secret tips and tricks on how to be a better goalkeeper and builds and stuff like that. I'll be going into detail this time, going through everything, hopefully everything, and I don't miss anything. First off, we're going to start off with something that obviously people say I use semi or whatever. Well, I'm going to show you I don't. Right, this is what I use. Save is on manual. Okay. If you're starting off a goalkeeper, you need to be semi-assisted. If you're just starting off as a goalkeeper, I wouldn't go assisted because that's just beyond stupid, man. It's just broken. It doesn't work. Not in my opinion, it doesn't. Go semi-assisted if you're just starting as a goalkeeper. Now, this build I'm using now, this is only for experienced keepers, but my old build does work. But this one I'm using now is mainly experienced goalkeepers. Don't go 6'4" if you've never been a goalkeeper before, because you have to adjust to a lot of things, and it's really experienced that. And I mean, I could go 6'2" and it'd work for me, but the thing is, the lower you go as a goalkeeper, like I don't go any lower than 6'2". But if you're an experienced keeper, you need to go. You need to be about 6'4" in competitive, 6'2" in the div games. Because to me, you're a lot faster when you're a lot more agile. I mean the 6'6" to 6'5" to 6'6" does work as well. I mean that works for any goalkeeper. That still works for me, but it's not as agile as a 6'4" to 6'2". So only go 6'2". 6'4" if you're experienced goalkeeper. Now I've got about four and a half years experience in that. So I'm just sharing the tips and tricks I use every single day that help me win games. I mean, a lot of people might say, "Oh, Monk, you don't know what you're talking about." I think like the trophy cabinet I've got on pro clubs in competitive, it says different. Because I mean, these builds I use, these tips and tricks I will share today, they're the ones that's helped me win games, and no one taught me this. I did it myself. And I'm also going to talk about the algorithm on the leaderboard. If that does interest you as a keeper and you want to be on leaderboard, I'm going to show you how to do that. Well, I'm going to talk about it. Right. This is my build. It's I could go 91 goalkeepers. You can see down here. I could go to that, but I don't want to. I don't really see the point. I think being a 90 goalkeeper is better. To be fair, the 91's so unpredictable. It's too heavy, too slow, and it doesn't work. I have been 91 on my other build, so it doesn't work. On my other account, I mean, right. These are the traits I'm using. I did do this on a live stream, but a lot of people just don't listen, so I've got to do it again and repeat myself. Anyway, these are the physical. These are the ones I'm using on my physical. I don't have any of these on. There's no point because you're not running out at goal. Defending, no. Dribbling, I only have these 6 on. Don't have any others. Passing, I have all these on. Not that makes any difference, but I have got these on. It doesn't really make any difference to your passing, really. To me, it's broken on this game. I don't have open shooting. So you might have to pause that if you want to copy it. I have all the pace on, and obviously I have a lot of right. There is a build that I did try, but I didn't have giant long throw on it. Do you know what? It didn't make any difference whatsoever having it on or off. That's the only trait there's a lot of traits that even having them on don't really make any sense because they don't actually change anything. Now, when I was a striker, I had all these now striking does make a difference, but unfortunately, I don't need it as a goal. A lot of goalkeepers will go help with a lot of dribble on, like we'll take all passing off and put it all on dribbling. You could do that, but for me, I did have it, and it does affect your goalkeeper. To be honest with you, I mean, you won't think about it, you won't think it does, but it actually does. It really does affect your goalkeeper. Now, I had most of these on apart from Flair. I had all of them on one side as well. And you know what? As soon as I took them off, my goalkeeper started reacting differently. So it does have an effect on your goalkeeper. Now passing, to be fair, I just had to put them on something. They're the traits I needed to put them on something, but to be fair, they don't really make any difference to your passing whatsoever. They don't make you kick. They make you kick a bit longer, but that's about it. It's not very accurate. The goalkeeper kicks aren't. That's one thing I've picked up on since 19. 19 was exactly the same. You could kick it and it could go anywhere. There's like, you know, when you pass the ball, you know where you want to pass it. It doesn't always work on this game. So in FIFA 21, the passing will be a lot better. And there will be a hell of a lot more traits as well. So you'll have a lot more dynamic and a lot more stuff to choose from. So, like I said, the only thing that will change on FIFA 21 is the actual traits. I'll do a video on that when it comes out and when I've sorted a build out. But the exact same height and weight, I'll probably go exactly the same. The weight might be different, but the height will be exactly the same. Because I might have to go £99 when I first start. I don't know. I did on this one, and I did on 19, did on 18, did on 17. I went £99 on all of them when I first started being a goalkeeper, because it gives you more, you're more agile. Because when you first start as a goalkeeper, when you have to start from 80, you're slow and sluggy. And it's just. But anyway, there's the traits. I'll do them again. This video is going to be more slow and more detailed. It will be a lot longer than the usual one, but the thing is, I will cover everything today. So hopefully that people do get the gist of what I'm trying to say, and hopefully they listen, because every time I've done one of these videos, people ask me in another video, when you're going to do a build, what build you're using, and I get asked a lot. How do you save long shots? How do you save short one-on-ones? I'm going to explain all that, and hopefully this time I won't have to keep repeating myself. But like I said, this will be the only one I'm doing now till halfway through FIFA 21. Because this will be the build I'm using up. Because don't forget, it might be about 3-4 months after it comes out. I'll probably do one on might be just before. Because don't forget, it's going to probably take me about 2 months like this one to get ranked up. So when I've ranked up, as soon as I've ranked up fully, I might rank up quicker. So I might do one quicker, but it all depends on when I rank up to fully as a goalkeeper. Then I will do a video on it and add traits and stuff like that works. I mean, people say FIFA's a different game, but it's not really. FIFA's always been the same. It's the same buttons, and you know what I mean. It's still going to be square to shoot. I mean, square to, square and X and triangle and circles are going to be the same buttons on PS4 as it is on the next game. So the right analog stick, the left analog stick, and the L1 button's going to be the same. So it's not going to be any different. So, unless you change your buttons. But anyway, there's the traits. Yeah, and I'm also going to put a video clip in that I put up yesterday, but it really does, I can explain it better on that video, so I will be doing that now. So, right, manual position yourself is very important in this game, as you'll see in this clip. That's the most. It's the only clip I've got available to show you that. I actually do quite a few stuff in this video I can show you. I manual position myself 90% of the time. 10% I would, you will have to hold L1 at some point. I mean, people say that you hold L1 a lot, but I don't actually 90% of the time. I used to, but don't anymore because it's just broke, so I don't use it. It's all about anticipating the shot, experience, knowing where the shot's going to go. You've only got your goal. It's only going to go either way, left or right, or in middle. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to, basically, you've got to judge right. 90% of the time I get it right, but if you want to start as a goalkeeper, this is mainly to people that want to start as a goalkeeper. The 6'4" build I'm using right now is only for experienced keepers, like that's been a keeper a few years. Like then, for instance, like that's a save that usually happens if you're using a semi-assisted or assisted, but that was an intentional one because I tried to do that. Doesn't always work though. Sometimes, you know, when you try and use that Superman dive, it doesn't always work because sometimes you just jump up for the ball and miss it. But then I just press forward on the analog stick and it did the dive, which is good because it works. On manual it does that, you know. So, but if you use an L1, sometimes it will instantly do that quite a lot, and that's why, you know, one of the reasons I don't use semi-assisted or assisted, because it's just broken on this game. So hopefully 21 will be better, but I doubt it. So look out for that in 21. It's probably going to be exactly the same shit. It always is. They make it like that so when you're in goal, you're not you're not going to save them all, because if you're going to save them all, you're going to save. I mean, I save 90% of the time, but you then 10% of them annoying saves that you know you can save, you want to save. I literally try and break my own remote to save them. So I literally just press the analog stick so hard. I'm surprised they don't snap off. That's how hard I try and save them sometimes. It's so annoying, man. You can't get there fast enough. Your goalkeeper's either too slow. Like you see in a lot of these shots, they anticipate where the ball's going to be shot. That all comes with experience. At one time, I'd have gone a different way. I stayed L1 and stayed at middle at goal. The L1 will just instantly lock you on to the person who's got the ball, and at the time they've crossed it or passed it, that's why I don't use it. And if they've still got the ball, you're going to be locked on to them. They've crossed it, that's in back at net before your goalkeeper has anticipated where the ball's going to go. So don't put your finger on L1, it doesn't work. Manually position yourself most of the time. Sometimes you will have to use it to get back in your net if you can't get back in it quick enough. Like then, anticipated the shot yet again. And a lot of people say, oh, why do you anticipate all shots? Why do you always save impossible saves? The reason I do that, it's like I said, it all comes with experience. Like then, for instance, I made a mistake. I moved my goalkeeper out. I should have kept him over to the post, and that's what I'm saying. Them shots to that far post is that 90% of the time they're very difficult, because sometimes it can go through your body, like they do with me. I have recorded sometimes where it's gone through my hand. So, you know, them shots at the far post, they are difficult to save. They are difficult. They're just broken, man. Especially ones that are at top right corner. And if they take it from edge at 6-yard box and they thrash it over to you, your goalkeeper just jumps up and it goes straight through his hands. Which it's just an animation of the game. There's loads of animations in the game. They're just bullshit. They don't work. It's frustrating because this FIFA 20 has probably been the worst goalkeeping experience I've ever had on FIFA itself. FIFA 17, FIFA 18, 19. I did actually enjoy it. It was 19 that I know for a fact 90% of the time I knew I could save it, because I had belief in what my goalkeeper could do. On this game, it doesn't matter what you believe your goalkeeper can do. It's not always what your goalkeeper's going to do. So you can think you're going to save it, then it could go through your entire body like it did the other day and glitch that straight through my hands. So, you know, manual positioning comes with a risk that if you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're not experienced enough, don't use it. Okay. Like them, for instance, I rushed back, I made my goal as small as possible, and I saved it. Most of the time, that would have gone it back at net. Also, if you're rushing out your net holding L1, rushing out your net, and your goalkeeper's doing like a crouch manoeuvre, yeah, you're not going to save it if you're rushing out your net, because what will happen is your goalkeeper, he will dive about 2-3 seconds after the ball's been shot past you. That's why take your finger off L1 button when you rush out, and then press your square if you're going to rush out your net, because you've got more chance of that slide tackling. That comes with a risk as well. I don't tend to come out my 6-yard box very much, or out my box at all, in competitive. As you'll notice, me never rush out my goal in competitive. I don't risk it. I don't take risks. But like in div games, I don't really take it seriously. Do you know what I mean? It's all a bit of fun. That's what it's meant to be for. You know what I mean? But competitive, I do take it very seriously. I'm very competitive. Like, that's why I'm always argumentative to a lot of people in FGL if I disagree with things, or in any league I disagree with. I'm very competitive, and I'll fight at last breath. That's just the way I am in life anyway. So that helps me out. That attitude helps me out. I've got a very positive attitude, no matter how negative things get. I always see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's always, you know, you never when it's like the worst thing as a goalkeeper I find is if you're in a team that you're not happy with. Always find a team that you're happy with, and you've got no toxic people in it, because it does help. Like, I mean, I've got a manager. I had a manager last season on thing called Brock, and he's probably one of the best managers I've had so far. And I've had some good managers. He's probably been about the best because he brings out the best in everybody in the team. And it's just a laugh, and everyone enjoys it, and that does help. That's what helped us win last season in FGL and VFL the season before. So we got promoted, and he was in the team then. And he does help because he brings like an atmosphere. You know, you always got to have that person in the team that brings an atmosphere and brings, you know, it brings a laugh out in everyone. So you can enjoy the game better. You can relax. You know, you're not tensed up. You'll find that as a keeper, if you're in net and you've got people going, "Oh, you shit, man, you fucking shit," after you just let one goal in, or you made a mistake or something. "Oh, get rid of him, he's crap, mate. You're not that good," and all this. It just, you know, you just think, "Oh, sod this." Do you know what I mean? You're not going to get the best out of your players, and you know, and you've also got to have belief in yourself as well. I think that's most important as a goalkeeper. If you don't believe in what you can do, you don't believe you're good, then you never will be good. If you get me drift. Anyway. Like corners, for instance, you'll see me like doing like a circle around my 6-yard box. That's to make them think I'll come out my net. That's the secret. A lot of people see me doing that. I think, what the fuck's he doing? But it works. Trust me, because they always shoot at you. Quickly put your finger back on L1, get back in your net as quick as possible. Bang, you've saved it. And they always do it. They always fall for it in Div 9, 10, and 7, and then 8. They always fall for it every time. They sometimes fall for it in Division 1 as well. They always fall for it. It works every time, and I sit there laughing my head off thinking, what a twat. It does work. You'll see me doing it on free kicks. You'll actually see in a clip before you see me doing it. I was about to do it, and he shot at me. So, you know, it's one way to make them think you're not concentrating. You're just messing about, and I'm actually not. It's a trick. It's like, you know, penalties. I look at their head just before they pass, they shoot the ball, but you're not going to save all penalties. Sometimes lately, I've not been saving. I think out of the last five penalties, I've saved 2 out of 5 in the last penalties. You're not going to save them all. They're very since they changed it, changed their head movement and that, so you couldn't guess whether it was shooting. It's made it very difficult. And what the tip is now, it is just before they shoot. Now, if they've got a big afro hair and big hair, so you can't they've got like dreadlocks, things like that, so you can't see the face move. That is really difficult, because you need, as a goalkeeper, you need to see their head move just before they shoot. Now, if they're shooting to the left, I'll dive to right, or I look for their head move just before they kick the ball. Most of the time you save it, most of the time you don't, but that's the tip for saving penalties. That's all you can do, really. And if they've got big afro head, then you've got no chance, because you're not going to see their head move. And if you can't see their head move, then you're not going to save it. You need to see the head move just before they kick it. And most of the time, when say like if their head's going to the left, yeah, most of the time it's going to the right. If that makes any sense. But that's what happens, and that's how I save it. So that's the tip on penalties. You need to look out for that. Because trust me, it works. Say if you're going to take a penalty against a keeper, just make sure you've got like big afro hair, or like hair that you can't see the actual face from back, and the head moves. So, you know, it works. Trust me. I know it sounds stupid, but it works. I've tried that out myself, and I did have big afro head, and it did work. So I couldn't see the face move. So any hair that obstructs the face, do you know what I mean, when they're on penalties and free kicks, stuff like that, it works. You can't see the face or anything, so you don't know where they're gonna kick it. Corners, you'll see, like I said, you'll see me doing like a circle around my 6-yard box, and that works as well. That's another tip that people have seen me use. A lot of goalkeepers now do use it because of what I said. It does work. One-on-ones. That can be difficult, because a lot of people deal with one-on-ones differently. Now I'm going to show you how I deal with one-on-ones. Most of the time I save them. 90% of the time I will save a one-on-one. A lot of people say, how the fuck did you save that? Like last season in FGL, a lot of people thought they could just walk through me, but they found different. You know what I mean? You're only as good as the defence in front of you, though. It's not always a goalkeeper's fault. If you're in a bad team, like a lot of people like this season, FGL have got golden gloves because they've made 124 or 190 saves. But what they don't actually realise is, if I was in a bad team, I would make 200 saves or 190 saves like I did a couple of seasons ago. I got a golden glove because I made 100 and something saves. To me, like in VFL, it goes on how many clean sheets you get. In FGL, it goes on how many. You could get parries, you could get just punches out of box, classes as a save, or you could just pick it up as a roll to you. So them saves aren't always going to be amazing saves, but it's going to be classed as saves, right? So this is the other thing that needs to change, like in FGL and certain competitive, like you need to be giving it on actual like performance, like how good you've, like say if you've won something, a trophy, or you've won a league or a season. You know, it goes on your performance, your tots, your team, your man of the matches, stuff like that. Not on how many goals you've saved. That means nothing. Absolutely nothing. It means nothing. But clean sheets, things like that, they matter. Especially like this season, people could say, "Oh yeah, you got carried, Monk." Not really, because I got a silver glove, and plus I saved about 94 saves last season, and I got 17 clean sheets. And I got a silver glove from top of the season, as well as trophies and everything else I've won this season in other leagues as well. VFL last season we got promoted. We come second. We got promoted. I got 14 or 15 clean sheets. No, I got 10 clean sheets. Sorry, I played 14 games, got 10 clean sheets, and I come top at leaderboard on VFL goalkeeping last season in Serie B, I think it was. I had one of my rivals that I beat in VFL, which I did a video about, and he hated it. But I played 14 games to his 18 or whatever, 19 games, and I got top goalkeeper leaderboard, and that's all from experience, mate. That's what experience gets you. It's not about oh, you know, how good you are at days. Some days I do have bad days, some days I have good days, but the thing is, I know also, I mean, that's about it really. I can tell you on that. But the thing is, the key is all about manual positioning. Don't use L1. It doesn't work. It's broke. That's what will give you the false and the negative saves, the negative animations. Because if you're holding L1, it tends to glitch out a bit, and it does you them stupid Superman dives. It will rush you out at net when you don't want to come out net. Like, say if there's a one-on-one and it's getting kicked over at top, take your finger off L1 button, it won't drag you out at net. If you're holding L1, it'll just drag you out. If you're using an assistant and things like that, it will drag you out at net, so don't use it. Take your finger off, as soon as the ball goes over at top, stay in your net. Don't rush out unless you know you can get the ball 100%. If you're not sure, stay in your net. Make yourself, like, then press your L1 as it's coming towards you. Make yourself, you go like a crab move and that. I wish you could make yourself a lot bigger and spread your arms out like they do in real life. They make this as big as possible to spread their arms out, but in this game you can't do that. That I wish you could do. I wish they built that animation in, because that animation would save a lot if you could spread yourself out on one-on-ones. But yeah, that's the key, manual positioning. If you don't use manual positioning, you will find, like I said, you will have a lot of animation glitches and it doesn't work. So it's all about anticipating the shot, and anticipate the shot quite a lot. Like sometimes, you know, you will get it wrong. Even now, 4 and a half years I've been a goalkeeper, and I still sometimes I get it wrong. You know, but you know, I've won the things I've won on VFL, VPG, FGL, VCC, all the other leagues I've played on. I've won in YFL. I've won in all these leagues because it all comes down to determination. Now, if you turn around to me and said, "Monk, you shit, mate, you couldn't win a piss up in a Rory," I'd go out my way to win it, just to prove you wrong that I can do it. And that's the type of mentality I've got. Like, I was told for 2 years that I'd never win a trophy in FGL, and I've always been in shitters teams, and I've always got a Golden Glove or a Team at Season or some award of some type, yeah, in weekend, late night, or main league. But I never concentrated on winning a trophy until about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Someone turned around to me and said, "Monk, you'll never win a trophy in FGL as long as I'm alive." And I went, "Right, I'll fucking show you, mate." So I went on. I didn't just win one, I won 3 in one season. Team. I've got Tot Season in main league, Tot Season in weekend, and a silver glove because I was in lower tier. So yeah, went out and proved them wrong. That's the type of person I am, and that's the mentality I've got. That's why they can't beat me, and not in a physical sense. I mean, like, they can't beat me mentally. And you have to be strong as a goalkeeper as well. You have to have a stiff backbone. You know, on some occasions it gets you that stressed. You just either want to punch your telly or just fucking throw your remote across the room because it just pisses you off. Especially when you're having a bad day as well. You will have a bad day. You'll have good and bad days. But when you have bad days where they shush you and things like that, and they think they're great, good, and they send you messages saying you shit, Monk, you this, you that. I mean, to be fair, that's just a lot. There's a lot of toxic stuff in competitive that you have to deal with as a keeper. You have to have a stiff upper lip or stiff backbone, otherwise you're not going to deal with it. And even I struggle to deal with it sometimes, you know. I'm not going to say in the video like, but I do get really annoyed with certain people when they do it. Because to me, it's toxic, and there's no need for that. That thing I wish they'd stamp out the game, because that as a goal makes it very difficult for you as a goalkeeper. Say, like, if you're starting out as a keeper and you're listening to that and you think, "Oh God, if I make a mistake, they're going to come at me like that," you know. And you know what they don't like in a certain, like in FGL, they don't like it when I make a video, or say if someone's, you know, I don't like something, I'll do a video on it. Well, that's tough shit, because if they weren't such assholes, I won't do a video on it. So, you know, that's my answer to that, really. That's my response to that. And that's all boils down to being a keeper. Like I said, you will have that shit to deal with. That also comes with competitive. I mean, even divs in pro clubs, you will get that toxic people. You want to give up. You want to think, I just can't be arsed with this shit no more. And you do get that. I mean, people say striker's the hardest position, but I've proved that's actually not true, because you can be in goal and just spam circle and you'll score. It's not that difficult. Like them, for instance, it's not that difficult to spam circle and just whack it back at net. But and another thing that people have figured out about me also, that when I've been in competitive, or they've never put me on pens. Now, what is the secret to pens? If you're not sure about something, you've got a person that's not going to score. I know more about scoring a pen than any fucking striker on this game does, because I know where the goalkeeper's going to go. People they can't figure that out. I know where goalkeeper's going to dive, and like I said, majority of the time when I've took penalties as a keeper, I've actually scored, and they've gone, "What the hell?" Sometimes I don't. You know, like I said, they're going to save it, you know, but majority of the time I will actually save it. I will actually score it than they save it, because I know where it's going to go. I can see his head. I can see where he's going to dive. You can just see it by the movement. You see, gives it away. See, only a goalkeeper would see that. See, now, when you're taking a pen, you've also, like now, for instance, if I was against him, I would know exactly where he was going to dive, because the way he's moving around. I don't move around as a keeper like that, because it gives you position away. It gives you what you're going to do away. I would never do that. I'd stay still until the very last minute. See, that's where he made a mistake. He moved around too much, get his position away, so he knew exactly where he was going to go. That's the secret to pens and to saving them. When people say, "What buttons do I use?" I use the left analog stick, the right analog stick. Sometimes I use the square button if it's a one-on-one. That's all I use. X button to make like a throw. A lot of times I throw it out because the kicks are inaccurate. I don't use any other buttons. On L1 sometimes, like I said, but I do manual position myself. And manual positioning means I don't use L1 button. 90% of the time I do obviously use L1. You have to as a keeper. You can't manual position yourself for everything. But you also, like I said, that's it really. That's all the buttons I use. I use manual saves. I use manual positioning. I keep getting asked this all the time. If you want to, if you're a starter keeper, use 6'5" to 6'6", 176 pound. I put the traits up. Use them in the video. So that's all you need to know. That's it really as a keeper. It's all about it comes with goalkeeping comes with experience. You have to be experienced and competitive to understand where the shot's going to go. And even the best goalkeepers and some of the best goalkeepers, including me, saying on this game that know where the ball's going to go, that anticipate the shot, doesn't mean you're going to save it. You're not going to save them all, for the simple fact is if you could save all the shots on this game, there'd be no point to being a striker because you'd never score any goals. They had made it like that. They made the animation so bad that sometimes you have to break your remote, you have to snap your fucking analog stick just to save a shot. And sometimes, majority of the time, I will have to near enough smash my remote just to save a shot, and I did the other night. Because your goalkeeper is not as fast as your reaction is sometimes, or your reaction is not as fast as the goalkeeper is. So that's it really. That's all you need to know. But before I forget, on the leaderboard, if you're interested in getting up the leaderboard on on Pro Clubs, on Pro Clubs goalkeeper leaderboard, and you're interested about getting up there, and I've said this before, I don't think people listen, but if you want to get up there on the goalkeeper leaderboard, get 10 clean sheets or more a day. Yeah, get as many saves as you can, but not important, clean sheets. That's what will get you up the leaderboard quicker. Now, a lot of goalkeepers on the leaderboard have got there for the amount of games they've played, but if you want to get up there quicker, I went from like 1,000 up to about 21 in about 2 months, just by doing the 10 a day clean sheets and goalkeeper. Yeah, which is quite difficult to do when you're a low ranked goalkeeper like I was when I first started. Get 10 clean sheets a day, even if it's in dropping, it don't matter because it still counts. As long as they don't quit out, because if they do quit out, you're not going to get it. And sometimes, even in clubs, it doesn't register your clean sheet straight away. Don't panic, they do go on eventually. But like I said, 10 clean sheets or more a day, and keep doing that every single day, and you will get up the leaderboard, no problem. It's all about clean sheets. You'll go above them people that's played more games than you. Now, I've got that. I mean, on my other account, I had like 800 or 9. No. I'd say about 700-800 clean sheets, maybe more, I don't know, I haven't checked. That's what got me up the leaderboard. Over people that had played like 4,000 more games than me, I was above them. Yeah? And I was getting, make sure that you get ratings of about 7.5 every single game or more. You'll do wonders. That's how to get up the leaderboard. Anyway, guys, I hope I've helped out. I hope you've got the gist of what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything else you need to know as a goalkeeper. I've covered everything. I mean, that's all you need to know, really. You don't have to press X, circle, and back four buttons, all of them, and that. You don't have to press any of them. The only buttons I've showed you, the only buttons that I press as a goalkeeper is the left analog stick, the right analog stick, L1. If I'm coming at my net, it's square. Triangle, then square, and it's X. Sometimes I use circle as to kick it out if it's right close to me. Because if if your goalkeeper's rushing out to kick, you get a ball, or someone's passed it back to you, and you got an attacker running for you. Press circle, and the ball just flips up in air. If you press X or square, what the ball will do, it'll clip the attacker and then go back at net. So if you've got an attacker right in front of you, press circle and chips it right over him. That's it. That's all you need to know as a keeper. So anyway, guys, don't forget to stick a like on this video if you want more of these. I mean, I don't really like doing any more of the. I don't really want to do any more of these till FIFA 21's out. As soon as FIFA 21's out, I will do more of them. So if anyone, there isn't anything really you need to know as a goalkeeper. I think I've covered everything in my other videos. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.